I got your wig, ho. Ha ha. You're mad. Miss Wikiana. Miss Wikiana.
I think when somebody doesn't know someone, you got to learn to read the room and know your place. If Kathy Hilton, who is a beautifully put together woman, tells you to read the room and know your place, baby, you're. I feel like I do. Precious?
No, that's not.
I don't know her.
That is Lizzo.
She is precious, though. Lizzo's precious.
That's like what I call her.
Lizzo is
Her nickname's
precious.
Precious to me.
Yes. No, Lizzo is precious.
Okay. I think did Paris Hilton's mom, like Kathy, was taken from Lizzo?
And that was weird because I've been to that lady's house and had a meeting with her, and I was like, I know you, Kathy.
And Lizzo's tall, right?
Yeah, I've never met Lizzo, but Lizzo and I do different things. But I guess we were. I've been confused for many a black fat, like many
Lizzo
women, and it's always weird and tinged with racism. And I did think that was weird.
Not the
Kathy
Hiltons.
Hilton's, yeah, because I have been to that woman's house and had a meeting with her because she wanted to dress me, and I was like, that's so strange.
Oh, man.
Wow. You ought to know my real name also.
Wow.
Because she said Precious.
Wow.
And I don't know.
You ever learn a drop kick yet? Man, I'll be dropped, man. What?
Okay, so I go over to the DJ. He's got headphones. He's looking down. He doesn't see me. I go back into the room, and there's a manager. I said, if I gave you money, would you put some songs on for us, my friends and I, to dance? And he said, no, it's way too busy in here. No, not tonight.
You can have your tears. You can do what you're going to do. But you did what you did. And you're not going to just gaslight and manipulate me right now. If you want to apologize to me, let's talk about what you really did. And let's talk about some of the names you called people. And we'll go there if you want to.
I said, really, I'm not a member, but for 30 years that I've come here on and off, they have taken a request. And I think that annoyed him. So he looked at me and he said, where are you from? And I said, LA. He goes, then go back to LA. So I go, we're out of here.
Look, I didn't handle myself well. I'm not proud of it, okay?
Yes.
And I said things I don't mean. That's all I can say.
So I go over to Kyle to tell her what happened, and she
Wanted to stay.
Well, but
There's a reason behind that. Kathy, it's the way you speak to me. You came up and you didn't say, this guy just hurt my feelings. I'm so embarrassed. You said, we are out of here. Everybody saw.
I know.
And you looked at me like, you leave me now. And I was like, hold on a minute.
But people are still looking forward to the Kathy Hilton of it all. And I know you and Lisa, you're kind of standing with Lisa on this. Do you still stand with her? Because I know a lot of your other castmates are saying, look, she kind of over-exaggerated.
No, I have my own experience, which I don't think you've seen yet. And so I have my own things to say about what happened. I see Kathy coming from the dance floor, very upset. I said, Kathy, what's wrong? She says, the DJ's an old and walked off. That is what happened.
I will admit to what I do, but I will not be painted to be this monster that you've tried to.
If Kathy Hilton, who is a beautifully put together woman, tells you to read the room and know your place, baby, you're.
When you heard Lisa order Kendall Jenner tequila, did that piss you off?
Not at her, but I was angry that Kyle, because I put it in my head, and you know what? I shouldn't put things in my head thinking and then get disappointed.
You were mad at Kyle
and
for not making
And now I'm embarrassed at myself.
What was I supposed to say to her? You're not allowed to order a different tequila?
Ladies, attention, ladies. I actually think every other tequila is disgusting, and I like this. Nikki and James are investors. I'm an investor. I'd like you guys to try.
I want to explain this. I had been very supportive of Kathy's tequila,
Yes.
and I think she knows that. I had it on camera at Diana's. I loved it. I talked about it all the time. So the way that it played out, I'm sorry if it hurt Kathy's feelings. It was never my intention to do that.
No, and I got that. I was disappointed by expecting something, thinking, because honestly,
I'm
my fault. Instead of everybody shooting their mouths off for all their...
Yeah, my hair's ugly.
Sorry, bitch.
Guys, Kathy's talking.
I would like to get everybody's opinion. I thought we would do a little bottoms up.
Think is most afraid of her in this group?
She's Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And you don't want to run crossways with this one.
Right.
I love the holidays so much, and I felt like I didn't get to enjoy it enough.
Is your tree still up, or you still have your stuff up?
I just took it down.
Oh, wow.
What we can do is we can sit you down for now.
Uh-huh.
But I really think that you need to go get checked out somewhere.
Okay.
Do you want me to come? Okay, I want to come.
Can I get something to eat?
Sutton Strack, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills 3-part reunion is wrapping up quite dramatically this week. What can you tease about what happened? Because I know you've cleared some stuff up on social media.
Yes, because I did have a medical issue that was serious, and I will say this. Let me just start with, Andy Cohen was so, dear to me. He called medic right away, and I ended up going to the emergency room with truly one of my best friends, Garcelle. She stayed with me at the emergency room the entire time, which I cannot thank her enough. It ended up that I was suffering from exhaustion, which sounds stupid, but it's a real thing, and dehydration. I was working a lot between New York and LA, back and forth, working on my new company, Sutton Brands, and then also had a severe case of bronchitis. And so I was really down for about 10 days. I had to I had to shut my life down, which is very difficult for me. And it took about 6 weeks for me to feel 100% again. You know, I think as a working mother, we want to be perfect. Yeah. You know, I want to stay on my job, and I want to be there for my son. And I just burned the candle at both ends, and I seemingly failed.
Well, no, it's one of those moments where your body forces you to
shut down.
Recalibrate, which I feel is probably needed, especially because you had a very dramatic season and year and everything on top of it, besides the family stuff. You had a lot of people coming at you hot, which isn't good for...
Oh, I'm used to it.
That's true. That's true. You're used to it.
Right.
Okay, hold on, because I was about to ask myself, why the fuck are y'all so afraid of Kathy? What the fuck she got going on? Is she a mob boss? But then I realized she is kind of the grande dame of Beverly Hills, so maybe, I don't know what that entails. But I see she got bitches shaking now just by looking at them. What's going on in this hoe? Kathy, you a witch or hocus pocus? Because you shot that look towards Miss Sutton and she got to Harlem shaking like a motherfucker.
I love the holidays so much, and I felt like I didn't get to enjoy it enough.
Is your tree still up, or you still have your stuff up?
I just took it down.
Oh, wow.
What's going on here? And you can clearly see Kathy does not give a fuck about Miss Sutton over there in the corner, Harlem shaking in this bitch, because they're literally talking about Christmas trees. My legs all twisted up and shit. Yeah, so as Kathy and Erica are talking about Christmas trees, you see Sutton and the rest of the girls are trying to, the rest of the girls are trying to support Sutton Harlem shaking right now. And I'm not making fun of Sutton Harlem shaking. I'm just saying, what's... All of a sudden, Kathy look at you. I'm not sure if it was editing or what, but she look at you and then you start, whoa, I don't want that bitch to ever look at me. She got Medusa-like power. She just making bitches shake by looking at them. That's crazy. Oh my God.
Trying to figure out, how do you turn the lights off?
I don't know. Ask me.
Oh. Is that it? Yes.
Do I look beyond?
Diamond, are you ready to watch my movie?
I feel like she knows that I need her.
Paris, she was in the headlines recently for speaking out about the abuse that she suffered at a boarding school in Utah. How did it make you feel, Kathy, when you found out about this?
Who would have ever known? We did, our Paris was at many schools before that. You know, look, we don't have time to tell our whole story because it would go on. We'd be sitting here till Christmas.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's not just about ditching school and doing this. Rick and I wanted to save our child.
Yes.
And moving to New York City, I can tell you right now, and just being out on the street and going off and being gone maybe for 2 or 3 days, it's very scary.
Sure.
An attractive young girl, people handing cards, being in these nightclubs, it was more than we could handle. I wasn't getting any sleep. I was so scared. I was really scared. And she would run from every school that we sent her to. Oh, she escaped.
Wow.
She would escape. So we ended up going and getting a placement counselor, which they have wonderful people in New York for private schools, for behavioral schools. And the top person that's recommended.
Right.
And we went and visited the school. I know several other parents that were going to be sending their child there too. I find out after the fact.
Yeah.
It's funny how we all keep things a secret. I totally understand, how you felt.
At CEDU, I was not allowed to speak to or look at my peers. The staff verbally abused me, calling me vulgar names that should never be said to a child. CEDU forced us to participate in attack therapy designed to humiliate and degrade you. I did not comply with the program, so I was brought to Ascent in Idaho. At Ascent, I was forced to do physical labor while malnourished and sleep deprived. I couldn't speak to my parents because the staff said I didn't deserve to. One day, a staff member strangled me and slapped me across the face in front of the other kids. She did this to instill fear in everyone. Despite hypothermia and physical beatings from staff, there was no medical care. Next, I was sent to Cascade. I received no education or therapy there. I feared daily for my well-being, but I would not let them break my spirit. Provo Canyon School was my final stop. I was given clothes with the number on the tag. I was no longer Paris. I was only number 127. I was verbally, mentally, and physically abused on a daily basis. I was cut off from the outside world and stripped of all of my human rights. I was not allowed to be myself, hold my own opinions, or even speak. Without a diagnosis, I was forced to consume medication that made me feel numb and exhausted. I didn't breathe fresh air or see the sunlight for 11 months. There was zero privacy. Every time I would use the bathroom or take a shower, it was monitored. At 16 years old, as a child, I felt their piercing eyes staring at my naked body. I was just a kid and felt violated every single day.
I hope you know that we only did this to save you. It wasn't just ditching school. I mean, you were uncontrollable.
I know.
One night when I was 16 years old, I woke up to two large men entering my bedroom, asking me if I wanted to go the easy way or the hard way. Thinking I was being kidnapped, I screamed for my parents. And as I was being physically dragged out of my house, I saw them crying in the hallway. They didn't come to my rescue that night. This was my introduction to the troubled teen industry. I was strangled, slapped across the face, watched in the shower by male staff, called vulgar names, forced to take medication without a diagnosis, not given a proper education, thrown into solitary confinement in a...
I didn't breathe fresh air or see the sunlight for 11 months. There was zero privacy. Every time I would use the bathroom or take a shower, it was monitored. At 16 years old, as a child, I felt their piercing eyes staring at my naked body. I was just a kid and felt violated every single day.
I hope you know that we only did this to save you. It wasn't just ditching school. I mean, you were uncontrollable.
I know. One night when I was 16 years old, I woke up to two large men entering my bedroom, asking me if I wanted to go the easy way or the hard way. Thinking I was being kidnapped, I screamed for my parents. And as I was being physically dragged out of my house, I saw them crying in the hallway. They didn't come to my rescue that night. This was my introduction to the troubled teen industry. I was strangled, slapped across the face, watched in the shower by male staff, called vulgar names, forced to take medication without a diagnosis, not given a proper education, thrown into solitary confinement in a room covered in scratch marks and smeared in blood, and so much more.
So, in the past few years, Hilton has made it her mission to try and protect kids who have gone through the things she went through and to stop it from happening to more kids. So she's working with Senator Merkley and other lawmakers on what's called the Accountability for Congregate Care Act. It would basically establish basic rights for kids who are sent to these kinds of facilities.
Congregate care without oversight becomes congregate abuse. And that's what we discover all too often when we look into the system.
I understand that you were just scared. But it was really scary for me too.
I know, honey.
But it made me really strong.
I've had severe nightmares since I was a teenager because of this. Basically, I just was trying to look like I had the perfect life, and I was embarrassed for people to know. And I now know that I shouldn't be ashamed. The people who work at these places who are abusing children are the ones who should be ashamed. And I'm proud that even though I went through so much, I'm so strong and I can make it through anything.
I reconnected with some of the girls from Provo.
Right.
And Katie is one of them. And Katie is doing this entire movement called Break Code Silence.
I want to ask you this. Have you talked to anyone who's been through what you've been through?
Yes, I've been speaking to a lot of the survivors. I've received thousands of letters and emails and people just contacting me, thanking me for being brave and telling my story. And we're starting a movement called Breaking Code Silence, where survivors are going to tell their stories.
Her to keep that in for 20 years.
So you had no idea that this stuff was happening.
And I mean, I said to her finally, like a few weeks ago, and then when I went to Washington with her, I said, I'm still not ready to watch it. So when we got back, I did watch it. And we held hands. And I could see how important. We held hands for an hour watching this thing. And just the energy that I was feeling from her and how relieved and happy that she was that I would watch it. But it put me into such a depression that, I mean, a lot of people understood that we're trying to help our daughter. You know, we were trying to save Paris.
Right.
How ironic. That like strict, and we were worried. She was living in New York. She was sneaking out and sometimes didn't come back home for 3 days.
Had I known this, and you know that Dad and I would have been there in 1 second.
Ew. Like JK, but like maybe not. But thank you for watching. But you hating ass bitches always have something to say. Hating ass bitch, but you're still watching my vids. What? You're so upset. But that's like okay, because have a piece of bread, have a Xanax, relax, because I said what I said.